So, welcome, Gentle Mondays, to our final class in this series of Strength Without Strain. And the focus for this week is on energy for this shorter practice. So, we're going to start, all the practice will be standing, by the way. So, we're just going to start with rubbing our hands together. So, hand on hand, warming up. And just see how that feels for the hands. So the hands might be going across rings on the fingers, or the hands might feel cold, might feel warm, might be getting warmer. You might be able to feel all of the fingers and thumbs. And you'll notice where the chain of connection goes to. So it starts in the hands as we rub the hands together, and you can notice it goes into the wrists and into the elbows and into the shoulders. So see if you can free up that movement so you let the pelvis go from side to side and the shoulders go a little bit more. And you can feel your feet, or the soles of your feet, having a sort of vibration movement from side to side. You'll notice my voice changes as I try and get this really loosening up in the pelvis. We're going to go on to do that more specifically in a minute. But we're kind of shaking, but the shaking is coming from the movement in the hands. And there's a whole body engagement. So the hand on hand can be quite soft, the shoulders can be released, and the jaw can be released. The breath can be free. Might do a sigh, a more active out breath just to release and let go. If it's getting tougher than out for wrists, fingers, shoulders, then just take a break or stop altogether. So we're going for a little while longer if you can. Just really get this warmth and this energy in the body. So kind of everything's wobbling in the nicest possible way. And you can slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. And just leave the hands together. Release the shoulders again. Slightly softening the knees. And feel the energy between the hands, so the warmth. And where the energy goes, where it flows from the hands through the joints, through the arms. Can you feel where that's circulating throughout the body? Maybe into the chest, or maybe into the pelvis, where we're trying to give a little bit of a belly dance, sort of side to side rock there. And the heart might have gone be doing a little bit more work, which is good. Okay, and let's release the hands. Let the arms just forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And then with that, allow the body to go with that. So there's a bit of a rock forward and back, opposite to what the arms or the hands are doing. So as my hands go back, shoulders come forward, my weight comes slightly more into the front of my toes and front of my balls of my feet. And as my arms come forward, there's a little bit more weight or energy to the heels. So I've just got a slight softness in my knees. So I can really feel the movement back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So this energy stuff is partly about movement, partly about rhythm. Sometimes it's whole body, most of the time it's whole body movements, but not always. And just release and let the momentum do its its own thing. And again, let the breath just settle, let the heart feel like it's coming back to a stiller, safer, more settled place. I wouldn't say safer, just a more settled place. And relax, let the weight come down from the top of the shoulders and just release down through the body. And you have a sense of extending through the spine. That's not a way of releasing the shoulders down and away. So taking hands to the pelvis, but still trying to keep those shoulders loose, wrists loose. And we'll do first just circuits around. So we're hovering with our pelvis above our feet. So our feet just getting a comfortable distance apart, whether that's about the hip width distance or whether you feel like you want a little bit wider for support and safety. And you're just going from side to side, forward and back in this circuit. Just see if you can find a flow without holding anywhere. So any difficulty in the back, just do smaller movements. Some people kind of really find this helps back, other people find it feels like some settling or destabilizing for the lower back, sacral kind of area. Okay, and see if you can, at some point, go the other direction. Doing your circuit, which might be a big circuit, might be a small circuit, might be really flowing all the way around, might get a bit sticky at certain points. So the feet give a little bit of suction there. Although that be movable suction, the knees are slightly bent here, so the weight is still going downwards here through the feet as well as upwards through the spine and through the crown of the head. So try and avoid any collapsing in the front body or in the upper back and shoulders. And rock to center. So loosen down with the hands and just give a little bit of shake for the wrists and the fingers. Just a little bit of a shake. And a little bit of a sigh. Maybe flapping the hands if that's kind of feels safe again or okay in the wrists. Move the arms a little bit. Again, if that feels pleasant for the spine, just feel a different bit of the spine as you get the arms a little bit more active. Pace and a rate that you feel okay about. So we're going a little bit faster today on some things. Just make sure you're happy with that. If not, just stop or do less. Okay. So hand back on pelvis just for a short while and just create a twist through the pelvis and be really thinking about the pelvic movement rather than the shoulders. So think I'm moving my pelvis, I'm moving my pelvis, I'm moving my pelvis. Forward, back, side to side, side to side. And so you get familiar with moving the body from the pelvis downwards. So the legs are involved rather than everything's happening in the shoulders and the shoulder blades and the upper body. Starts in center. Still keep the length if you can through the neck and the crown of the head. Okay, so we're going to carry that movement going as we take the arms. And see if you can continue to keep your focus on the pelvic movements. So the arms and the shoulders are just following. And slow that up, slow that up, slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. Let's take a bend in the knees, arms to the side, and just lengthen a little bit slower now. Arms back down to the center. So bend in the knees as we extend up. Bend in the knees as we bring the hands back into center. Couple more times. And settling in center. And just feeling this area in the sternum, so this sense of spaciousness here, so that we're not collapsing down. We're able to get that sense of uplift through the front body and length through the crown of the head. Keep the knees soft still. Keep the shoulders relaxed and the tongue and throat. And relax. So we're going to take the legs reasonably wide, if you can here. And I've got my toes out and my heels in, so that I can go from side to side and I can feel safe with my knees broadly going over my toes. Yeah, so I've got that movement. So once you've found that movement, just recognize that you're changing the weight from side to side. So you're pressing down one foot to take the weight over to the other foot, pressing down through the other foot to get the weight back out. It's almost like you can imagine the energy coming up and going down, coming up and going down, coming up and across and down, up and across and down, up and across and down. Just following that movement, having the hands wherever they're comfortable. If you want to move them with the movement, then you can. Don't feel any particular need to do anything with the arms. It can be just gently resting on the thighs or slightly in front. So again, there's still a length through the spine. It might be slightly forward, but broadly speaking, keeping the length so that if there is any lean forward, it's from the hips and pelvis, not from the lower back. Okay. So as we do this, just see if you can take your hands to your pelvis so that as you go to one side, you're actually taking your gaze and the area from the pelvis upwards slightly to one side. So it's a twist effectively, as we've been doing before. So doing quite a bit of twisting for energy today. Energy, connection, etc. Okay. And see how now if we let the hands go, we can allow the arms to come in, but the movement still from the pelvis, and it's just the arms that start to come in a little bit more. If we get the speed going, again, this might be too strong for knees, might be too long, so just don't go as far or don't go at all. So we take the weight down, push up, take the weight down to the side. So one side to the other side. Pelvis, a bit more opening the pelvis in order to get the upper body over. So a bit like, now thinking more like I'm skating, nice. image comes. But again, try and think pelvis, that's where the strength's going to come from, that's where the power's going to come from as you skate your way around. And slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. Until we're in centre. Get yourself back together again, heel toe. And see how we are in centre now. So both hands on the belly for a moment. And get a sense of the breath of the belly, the energy in the belly, sense of the movement in the belly through the movement of the diaphragm. Shoulders relax, knees soften. And relax the arms again, a bit of a shake. A little bit of shake one leg, a little bit of shake the other leg, first leg, second leg, first leg, second leg. Okay, sticky mat today. Okay, so we'll do some movements to lengthen down one side and then the other side. We've been doing over a number of weeks, and then we'll extend movement afterwards to whole body extension. So stepping forward with your favourite leg and just giving a little bit of a bend in this knee so the weight feels like you're going forward slightly. Still lengthen through the spine, and with your whichever leg's back, that's your arm that's going to just come across the body. So there's a slight lean forward here because the weight's coming forward. But that's anything that I say is just coming from the pelvis and the hips, not the lower back bend. And as usual, you can extend that through the side to lengthen through the back heel. Heel to heel idea. And if that feels like you're ready to move on to the next stage, then you swing the arm behind you a little bit more. You should look behind you. Swing the arm, you should look behind you. Swing the arm, you should look. But if that means you lose your sense of kind of control of the movement, then just leave that bit out or keep the heel on the floor, whichever makes sense. And slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. And neutral position for a moment to get the sense of energy through the side body. So this energy coming in through the arm, through the shoulder, hopefully, and down the side of the body. Work feeling like it's been done on one side. Okay, so finding your opposite side, so opposite foot forward, opposite leg back, weight on that first foot, slightly a sense of coming forward, check that your back leg is your flowing arm, see how it goes, feel the heel and extend, feel the heel and extend, and just be really clear that's safe and okay, otherwise just leave the back heel down. And then taking the arm behind and through, behind, through. So energy going up and out, up and out. again, just letting that calm itself down a little. And step forward. And back into centre for a moment. Okay. So rather than swinging again, I think we need a swinging break. If we take our feet, maybe shoulder distance, and bend the knees again, if that feels safe for the knees, that you can feel that you're not sticking your bum out here, you're not sweeping your bum under. There's this neutral spine, if you can find that there. Okay, and just taking the arms up, kind of cactus arms, a little softness in the fists here. A little bit of fists coming together, but can be soft here. Shoulders down. Extend though through the whole of the upper spine, still keeping the knees bent. And from here, extending back and up. Shoulders go slightly back, elbows go back. And then elbows come in as we round the back and bring the chin in. Keeping the knees bent, back opening into this. It's kind of like a cat-cow. This will be the cow part. And this will be the cat part as you bring the elbows in, round the back. Exploring those shapes, exploring that movement both for the spine, the back of the body, and also the chest and belly as you come forward. So really being aware and safe in your lower back. You don't want to be crunching anywhere in that lower back. So the more you lengthen before you extend and go back, the more chance you will have lengthening the lower back rather than overdoing in the lower back. So 3 more, maybe with the breath if you like the breath. So out breath to come in. In breath to open out. Out breath to come in. In breath. We'll do 1 more. Out breath. In breath. And let the arms relax and let go. Feet back more into centre for a moment. So we're looking through some of these spinal movements through the rotation, the twisting if you like, and through like that kind of movement. We've just been doing the cat-cow movement. We're looking to really get energy and flow through the spine, such a crucial area, and that within itself, this whole idea of releasing energy in order to create length, lightness, freedom, fluidity in the body when maybe things around us are telling us to close down quite a lot. And there's nothing wrong with closing down. We can close down and we can open up. Yeah. So just finding that option button. Okay, now's the time to be more fluid and open. Okay, so we're going to do 1 more faster movement, and then we'll just do a few finishing movements through the warrior side angle kind of routine that most of you are familiar with. So just to get a little bit more of the diaphragm going, a bit more breath work. Won't do it too long for this time. I've got my feet shoulder distance apart. I'm bending my knees even to start off with. Allowing the arms to rock me like we did at the beginning, fairly at the beginning. But then I'm taking a bigger movement to sit back. 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 So think more sitting back rather than bending in your lower back. If you sit back, it's more likely to be the pelvis, the hips that bend, and it's more likely that you'll be using your bum muscles a little bit. And using your legs to get yourself back up, even though there is going to be working from the swing. So just 3 or 4 more. And let's slow that up, slow that up, slow that up. Great. And what we're going to just do before we move into those movements, we're going to have one hand belly somewhere around the navel, slightly up, slightly down. And if you can access your mid-back, so it's below the shoulder blades, and it's somewhere at the base of the rib cage, top of the kidney kind of area. So try not to create too much tension for the shoulder. And just finding the breath here. If you're not comfortable with that hand in the back, just take that out. We're just trying to get the breath in the back of the body, or notice the breath in the back of the body where energy gets stuck for most of us, or many of us at least. Just see if you can feel any movement in the back, softening, feeling of the hands. Okay. Finish the opposite ones. Arms to feel uncomfortable, wrists to feel uncomfortable. So gently, gently, gently releasing the back arm. Just let it trace down the back and find its way forward. And then just a comfortable, gentle release of the arms and the shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to come to the front of a mat and we're going to open out into warrior from here. So finding your feet hip distance apart. Feel the floor, soften the back of the knees, just soften the belly and the butt for the moment, let the shoulders relax, but still with a sense of long in the back of the neck and extending through the spine, through the crown of the head. Think tall and light. Get the breath back here. And when you're ready, bending the knees and opening out into warrior 2. Sweep the back arm to get yourself forward again. So we'll do 3 times and then we'll go into the movement. So using the back arm to gather up the energy of the back leg and moving forward. So when you're ready, opening out the second time. So this front knee's bent, the back knee is straight. And flowing forward. So you just gauge how far you're going to go back. Sometimes you don't go too far, sometimes you don't go quite far enough. So it's a little bit playing around it really. So ready, sweep back, and this time we'll stay here. So if you need to reorganize yourself slightly so that you're stable, so maybe you might need to take your front foot over to the little toe side to feel more stable. Just getting this needs to behave a little bit, so just don't want it to collapse into beyond the big toe. See if it will just come somewhere in the mid toe section there. So from here, we're going to gently flow into side angle. Where it would flow into, just let it flow into. And push down with that front leg, get yourself back into warrior and flow in the other direction. Yeah, so that back leg stays largely straight. There might be a little bit of a give, but largely straight. And again, just see what happens. You might have a range, you might have a restriction, so just coming to where you come to without forcing it or pushing it. One more time. On the first side, going over to where you go over to. Pushing down with that leg to help get up support you need to flow back before heading into reverse and going wherever you're going with that one. And leveling up. And if you can have the energy at this point to use your back arm to get you back to where you were, then do. If not, then just heel toe from here. Okay. Excellent. So we're going to find a way to the other side of the mat so we can open the other way. If it didn't feel natural facing the camera, then obviously stay the side you were, because this time might feel natural doing it the other way to face where you can see the screen. So again, just steady yourself to start off, relax around the jaw and those areas of tightness, maybe around the shoulders. And breath. And when you're ready to open up. So again, we'll do this 3 times, using the back arm to get the leg to our starting point. And again, opening up into warrior. Finding your way back to the front. So the 3rd time we'll stay. So opening up. And again, if you're feeling unsteady at all, then just play around with that front foot and just see if it does help taking the weight over, or moving over to the little toe side slightly. Just ensure the best you can that the knee has a little bit more of an orientation to the centre of the foot rather than drifting out. Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. And from here, flowing over with that top arm into wherever you get to with your side angle. Sweeping yourself up to center before reversing that angle. Harder for me on the second side, so I'll stay within my range. Second time. Side flow, flow, flow. Use that front leg when you need it to allow the body to be supported to take you over and other direction. And use your top arm this time. Might be easier to get yourself back. And again, so you either need heel toe, or use your back arm energy to sweep the back leg forward to arrive where you started for the second sequence. Okay, and just centering ourselves. Okay, so feet behind. Knees bent, so just finding your way into this. Sometimes like a shimmy arrival is better. And release the arms to the side and dig down, gather up, pour over, and repeat. Gather up, pour over. Repeat. Gather up. Release. And arms to the side. One more time. And straighten the legs. And heel toe. Hands to the belly. And just get a sense of the body at the end of the practice. Where's the energy? You can feel the energy. Where's the flow in the body? Where's a sense of energy, movement, warmth? Can you feel strong while at the same time being soft around that strength? holding or tightening. Just relaxing and releasing without collapsing. When you're ready, just release the hands. Give the hands a rub again. And the body a little bit of a quiver again, side to side, hip movements. Breath release, shoulder release. And maybe a little bit of energy to the face and the brow and the side of the jaw and maybe the back of the neck to just refresh it. Okay. Thank you for coming to this series, and I wish you well for the season, and hopefully we'll see you not too distant future back on the mat. All right, take care. Thanks again.